is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Welcome to
No cold open this week?
What Cold Open do we have? It's America's birthday when we're recording
It's
this.
America's birthday.
Yeah.
Come on and give us a smile.
So usually we've been
We sang.
Usually we record on Sundays, and this time around it was Independence Days on a Thursday. I was like, hey, let's watch The Boys and do a show.
Mm-hmm. And we got to watch The Acolyte.
Yeah. And then we're going to talk about Superman Space Age.
Wow.
And then, probably on Monday, you're going to get a bonus episode
Bonus!
with frequent guest host
Too much
Luke Moyer. That's
much
going to be a fun episode. So, episode 156.
I love how you and Luke did this like other podcasts without me.
Also, look on next Friday, July 12th.
Is this the soundboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next Friday, July 12th, will be the Red Lanterns episode of Modern Mythology.
Woo!
Yeah.
And
then 2 weeks after that will be Dark Knight's Metal, which will also have Luke Moyer guesting on that as I talk to you guys and explain to you guys the fucking insanity that is Dark Knight's Metal. Also, how familiar are you with
nerds?
Nth Metal in the DC universe?
That's the Thanagarian shit.
That plays a huge factor in Dark Knight's Metal.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. It weirdly ties so
it's
far what I've
Hawk people.
I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
But what I've read, so I read the prequel issues of it, and I've already talked about it on the show, and I've read I think 2 issues into it so far. It is a story of like
redemption,
Batman and Hawkman and the evil We haven't gotten introduced in the proper storyline to the evil Batman yet.
The Batman who laughs.
The Batman Who Laughs, The Red Death, Batman the Merciless.
I have no idea.
There's a bunch. I still have them.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that on Modern Mythology. But today,
we're
we're going to talk about The Boys, Season 4, Episode 6, Pick Up Sticks.
Hated it.
Which I think we only have 2 episodes left. I think both The Acolyte and The Boys are 8 episodes. So,
are they on the same timeline? 6?
Yeah, because The Boys
jumped.
had 3 episodes.
Good job, boys.
Good
job, Eric Kripke.
We're so busy with that. I don't know what our show's going to be.
Fucking woke motherfucker.
Whoa. So anyway, this episode is... I mean, what else can we say about this season? So I will say, of the episodes, I feel like this one really is an episode that is, on one hand, closing some loops on previous storylines, but also setting up the final season.
Yeah.
And putting things in place. It is who knows what's going to happen in these next 2 episodes, but even at this point I feel like okay, now the chess pieces are on the table, especially with the revelation.
Even though they've gone away from the comic book, they are looking like they are going to finish up.
So
a
couple of things I want to say from the
get-go.
I felt so fucking validated in this episode because 2 things that I said, 2 predictions that I had were kind of set. One of them was guaranteed. One was set in motion. So my 2 predictions, by the way, let's pull up the soundboard here so everybody's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Tyler, how was your day?
By the way, last night I was on a Twitter or on Discord with a bunch of independent musicians. And I had my hat and my glasses off, and, I have my mustache right now. And this one guy was like, I've been to a lot of Discords, but never, ever in my life have I been in one where Stone Cold Steve Austin was in the room. And I just start going, what? I just started doing that, and everybody fucking cracked up. It was awesome. You would have been so proud.
I legitimately don't know where it is. I thought I had
What?
Pizza Time.
Oh.
Well.
Fuck off, man. Listen. There it is.
That's your spoiler indicator right
Spoiler.
There. What's the deal
Jerry.
with spoilers?
Jerry.
It's the boys,
Jerry.
All right. How do you segue out of that?
How do you segue out of that? With the
spoiler zone. That's the drop. Did you hear how perfect that was? Come on.
Jimmy!
It's that
Okay.
it's that bass line of me going, spoiler zone.
Spoiler zone.
Okay, so two things.
As you slip on the floor.
Hey,
Spoiler!
banana peel.
Got it.
So two things that I took out of that, the predictions that I had. One, I said, I feel like they're going to go the route of the comics because in the later issues of the book, it starts to kind of get set up that Butcher is also a villain in this, and Huey's actually the hero of this story.
Mm-hmm.
And in that story, and how the book ends, and also spoiler zone for the comic. I don't know why I'm looking at this blank TV screen as if it's a camera. Spoiler zone.
Hey, everybody out there.
If we did video, we should at some point. We've been saying that for 56 episodes.
156 years.
Episodes.
Oh. I was going to say,
Which, by the
only
way,
40.
we're coming up on 3 years
Hey!
on this show.
What number will we be exactly 3 years? Is there...
I think 158 because we're doing that extra episode, so I think I'd probably be
So this will be
I'm
funny.
gonna figure this out
before we get into the
and we're
boys.
gonna do this on air so everybody can hear this because this is gonna be entertaining for them.
Before... No, actually it is.
Get with the show. We're doing the show.
Hang on.
My predictions for the show were that they were going to do it similar to the comics and make Butcher become a villain, and I think that has been set in motion with this final revelation where Butcher finds out, oh, wow, that's beautiful. We're looking at Superman. Stop it. You're squirreling me.
Squirreling me. Squirrel.
Where he finds out that, because he just like, all I want is one dose of he's torturing Samir.
Yep.
I just want one dose strong enough to kill Homelander. And he says, you don't understand. If we do that, it would kill everybody that has compound V. Everybody's at risk.
Including Ryan.
Global pandemic, genocide.
Starlight, Kamiko.
And Kessler says, like, this is a silver bullet. And this is where we see the villain happen. And this whole Fight Club-esque moment where we get the revelation that, yes, Kessler was a
figment of his imagination
the whole time. And they tell you at the beginning of the episode, they said in the beginning of the episode, the revelation doesn't, for Butcher happens, but you as the viewer, if you're paying attention, it happens right in the first frame because he says, wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Kessler does, and slaps Samir. But when you see it, he's standing behind Butcher, and Butcher is the one slapping him. And I'm like, that's when you and I looked at each other and was like, oh, that's it. That's we knew then, like, okay.
We already had known, and I got to say, like...
that doesn't mean the reveal isn't still great. I love the reveal.
Oh, God, yeah. But I'm still sad that your intuition about... But I'm also glad after this episode because that would have been way too much shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Huey's got to survive to be, like, the hero and whatnot. He can't be, like, on death's door also. Yeah. Especially because he just lost his dad. And Guy had a hell of a time during this episode. And way to, I gotta say, I don't know if I could have pulled off as long as he did. Oh yeah, I'm just so much dried cum, you know.
Yeah.
He was just trying tarantula. Oh, I'm sorry. I just like to shout things out.
Trying to figure out his.
No, fart.
But
that's
the
so
Kessler. So the Kessler reveal is huge because in my head I was like, well, how are they going to explain the drugs thing? And I said, or unless they're just going to say that he already had it, and then like, okay, that's it. That's their reveal was, he always had the drug. Like everything had been put in place, and they laid it kind of in front of you too. Like we talked about in the last episode, where he was not looking. He looked at like, what the hell? Like he had a look of like, there's no one there. What are you talking about?
And the rest of the episode, until the big reveal, which, again, we already knew, or suspected, I should say, because we didn't know, per se.
But they had kind of laid it.
You called it, and everything after you called it, like, led me to believe that it was true.
And then they did it very heavily in the last 2 episodes.
Very, very much so. But here's the thing. It's like he was saying things that didn't necessarily need to be responded to. So that's why Samir wasn't, whatever, but it was just very clear, like, hey, this is not a real guy. Mm-hmm. He's not, nobody else sees him but Butcher, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's... Yeah, so, and it was just a crazy episode in general. Like, even for the boy Sanders, sometimes I'm like, wow, okay, we're going this far. And to see that moment of him say where he has that reveal of like, yeah, it's been you the whole time. You could have pulled anybody from your brain, but you picked Joe Kessler, the guy that
that you
was
left
with him
to die
in the shit, and that
you left to die.
To say like, I am you in Daddy's home, and he like leaves the scene, and you're like, and then Butcher still has that look on his face like he's not quite sure what he's gonna do, but that moment of like, you want to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay, fuck yeah, we're setting up what happens in the book where Butcher makes that turn into being a villain, where he takes it too far. Kill them all.
Can I just? I want to reference to that final stare into the camera by Billy Butcher at the end of this episode. I want to reference two really excellent directing jobs in a great movie called Total Recall, and one of them is when Sharon Stone goes
Have we not done that on the show?
We have not done it. I don't think so.
We have to.
But when Sharon Stone goes to give a call to the authorities after Quaid is revealed, she's calling Michael Ironside, right? And she's looking at Schwarzenegger and with this look on her face, and he goes, "Hello," and she looks at him, and then she has a couple seconds where she's like resigned. That's an excellent directing job to show that response, and then they cut, right? Then the other one is when he's saying that he wants the doors open at the airport, at the spaceport, and he goes, "They can't because they're all connected."
Yeah.
And they, instead of cutting right away, they stare down each other for like a good solid 2 to 3 seconds, and the director stays on that. And that is good directing.
Okay.
I'm just saying that kind of like that stuff is underrated, and what makes good entertainment
the revelation
is the fucking you're able to kind of see that he's making a decision, but you're also not sure. That's great acting. That's great directing.
I think we talk a lot about Anthony Starr's performance as Homelander, which again was great in this episode too. But I don't think we talk enough about how just amazing the entire cast is in this show. Like from Karen Fukuhara to Aaron Moriarty, Jack Quaid?
Yeah.
Jack Quaid. Like Jack Quaid is fucking great.
Laz
in this
Alonso.
episode. Amazing in this episode. Carl Urban is fucking. The look on his face of
yes,
and his, I was telling you like how fucking dilated his pupils were, like how black his eyes were. Where when he was moving is that like you see a sliver of white, like you see this man at the end of his fucking rope.
Oh, dude, his eyes were bloodshot the whole fucking
He's dying.
show. Yeah,
he's puking black bile.
Did you watch the Abrams Star Trek movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just, all I got to say is, he doesn't necessarily look like DeForest Kelley so much. He's taller, I think. But he fucking absolutely nailed the essence of Dr. Bones McCoy, man. He fucking nailed. That was the moment that I knew. I'm like, Carl Urban is a good actor, dude.
Hey, as bad as that Doom movie is, him and The Rock are like the best thing about it. I will give him that.
He was great in.
He's good, dude. He is fucking.
Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick.
Have you seen Dredd?
Fuck yeah, dude! I forgot about Dredd.
Dredd is fucking amazing.
Perfect. He never takes his helmet off, and he fucking kills that role, dude.
It's a shame we never got a sequel. It's a shame.
Fuck yeah. Although, here's a great quote about that, or a great trivia about that movie. They say 8 million like murders in the city every day or whatever.
Yeah.
They talk about there's a stat that that's like lower than it is now.
Jesus.
Like if you took the entire United States and referenced that, because that's what it's supposed to reference. That's what it's supposed to reference.
So anyway, yeah, Carl Urban kills it. Everybody kills it in this episode. So what is happening that the boys are going. So Butcher's torturing Zamir with the virus stuff, and then on the main storyline, they're having like this like CPAC. Even Victoria says this CPAC style thing, which
the people who really
I want to
make
point
the
out.
decisions
I want
to
point out. This is what's so interesting about this choice. So they gender swapped this character because in the comics this is Victor Newman. And they gender swapped, and
she fucking kills
to add this to get the payoff of that in this episode, I think is great. And to see like, oh, she like it makes sense why they made her who she is because one, the actress that plays her is great, and but God, and her conversation with Sage when she pretty much lays out why she's doing it. Well, like she's like, you're so smart, but why are you gonna end the? She's like, because nobody wants to listen to me. I'm the smartest fucking person in the world, but nobody ever asked me anything. Homelander finally did. And I think she knows that at some point she knows he'll fucking laser her head too, and she doesn't really care.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think she's ready to die. She's at that point because she has to do that shit every day to her brain.
Yeah.
So I think she's like, I don't really care. If this works, cool. If it doesn't, then he lasers my head off and fine. And maybe I'll fucking regenerate. Who the fuck knows? Maybe I'm immortal. You never know. But the actress who plays her, I don't know her name. We should find that out. But
it's not like we have a
she
Google
does
machine.
a great fucking job of switching between, we'll talk about the Acolyte later, and another actor who's really great at switching, roles or switching kind of, inside of a character's skin, switching from between different characters. But she does a great job of being like really, really smart and sinister, and then just being like a child.
Mm-hmm.
I could use some French fries in a Sibian.
Susan Hayward
Okay.
is.
What does she say? Something in a Sibian.
Yeah, she's fucking. That's another thing too that I think is weird.
So
is
do
like,
we think she's like
when
totally
she-
brain
when
damaged because
she-
she didn't do he didn't do it in the right spot?
So what happens is they have Dewey.
Right, we're jumping around.
Huey undercover at this like CPAC thing as this character named Webweaver who got an invite. And so because everybody's like, why did Webweaver get an invite to this? It's kind of weird because it's like all these
to
higher
be
up,
the
like,
fucking
the sevens
to be the
there.
gimp for
pretty much
basically.
to be the sub for Tech Knight. So yeah, they put him undercover and they send him in, and he is taken down into the Tech Cave, which is just a sex dungeon, because Tech Knight is a masochist because he has heightened senses with like smell and sight and hearing, and so that's why they're like, it's a good thing that Web Weaver is a fucking druggie burnt out because his clothes stink so bad because he probably never washed them,
Yeah.
So that'll help with your scent and all this.
Oh yeah, he's
And
just yeah.
And then he runs into Victoria at one point, which is funny too, because they're in the truck like, son of a bitch. Like, of course he fucking runs into her because he constantly runs into her.
Constantly.
Well, no, in every facet of this fucking season, she's always fucking running into them. And
yes,
all the time, and that's what's so funny about it, because they're like always butting heads because the soups want power, and the boys are like, no, this is not good. They're also not like, hey, we should do a genocide because that doesn't solve anything.
Side discussion. If you had the ability to blow up anybody's like head, how long do you think it would be before you just?
For me,
you know what I mean?
Like how long I would last before I'd pop someone's head? Fuck, that would be pretty fast, I feel.
I'm just saying, I feel like the character has a lot of self-control because she hasn't done it in like a while. It's referenced in this episode that she blows her own head off after talking to that moron about abortion.
Because of my job, I deal with people at varying range of emotion. Rage of
emotion.
That's a fucking Freudian slip.
There's a fucking song
Range.
title.
What?
Rage of emotion.
Write that down. There's a range of emotion. So I deal with a lot of people. So I mean, I feel like I'd pop some heads pretty quick, to be honest. I feel like
it's a good
to be honest.
To
be honest, I feel like most people would at some point pop
thought
someone's
problem.
head because people suck.
It's a good thought experiment. I was trying to figure out
How fast would you last?
Not at all.
That's a song title.
How
fast would you last?
When you're...
Speaking of lasting, so the whole Web Weaver, sub situation. So Huey gets, like we said, he's
subplot.
There you go. He's set up to. At first, they bring down a cake.
Yeah, and he's got to sit in it.
And fucking, so Tech Knight is got a chain wrapped around his neck, and he is suspended while he is.
He's got help from his manservant, by the way, and he's incredibly.
By the way,
racist.
Here's my problem.
Just racist.
Yes,
as fuck.
yes. His Alfred analog is black, and yes, he treats him like
does this whole thing with A-Train about how his family made their money off of being slave catchers,
and stares at him when he says it. I was like, I bet you
my granddad would have caught you.
And then he's like, poor A-Train's gonna be like, I guess we'll never know. And then But well, yeah, and then he has his Alfred analog that's black, and he's like, he treated me like a son, and he's a father's guiding hand.
We'll get to that. Don't get there yet.
Why not? I mean, I'm just saying.
Because I want to talk about the first part.
Yet.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you let me finish?
I thought you were going to reveal the whole...
I am so... Man.
The whole...
Right now, pop.
End.
Pop. Right now, sir.
When he kills
your
Tech
head is
Knight.
gone.
Is that where you were referencing?
Could you imagine?
Were you referencing?
Yes, I was trying to finish my thought, but I was just trying to say that, yes, I was finishing the thought of the racist thing of like, and then, but he still has him call him master.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
He, yeah,
I love seeing the revenge. Yeah.
This is what's even weirder to me. He doesn't even take his pants out. He's over the pants jerking himself off. What a weirdo. So, yeah, and then he makes Huey drop trow and sit on the cake, this chocolate cake that was brought down, and fart on it for him to jerk off to him cake farting.
I think he meant for him to fart like Web or whatever fuck. Is that called a fart for Web Weaver?
But there's got to be, is there someone on this team? Like, is there someone on a writing staff that is required to just look up weird sex shit on the internet and just be like, hey, this would be great? Because let's watch this. Because I heard that in the second episode, that's called a goatsy? A goatsy? Goatsy or something?
What?
When they're all eating each other's ass while he's jerking off.
Oh, I don't know.
That's apparently a thing.
Okay.
And then cake farting. I'm sure that's a thing.
So here's my thing is that...
It's like, what I'm saying, who is that guy or person?
Totally, but here's my thing. I think
need to be interviewed.
Kripke, actually. Here's my thing.
Yeah,
is
it's
that,
probably Kripke.
I haven't been with a woman in a while. And if you were like, hey, really pretty girl came up. She was like, hey, we can do this, but first we're gonna get into a goatee. I'm like, what is that? She's like, well, you're gonna lick my ass while another dude licks your ass, and I lick another dude's ass.
Possibly
and
someone else
way
is
up
licking
in the
their
front,
ass.
somebody's jerking off, and like, I don't want my ass licked enough to lick her ass. I just met her.
I'm just gonna go home and jerk it.
I think so.
At that point, if that's the situation.
Man, if that's the way dating is now, fuck. That's the way it is on Tinder.
Or you could be strapped to...
Goatsy or not.
Or you could be strapped on all fours to a straddle while someone tickles your feet and proceeds to rub their
one
clitoris.
out. I'm going to rub my dead clit on your face. I'm like, what? Okay.
And then she wipes
Piss like a skunk.
And then she wipes the cum on his face. I'm like, gee.
Yeah.
And also, please don't ever listen to this shit. Why do we put this in the front? I should have rearranged all this talking.
Oh, like it matters. We say like fuck right off the bat and we sing like idiots. This is not for the faint of heart. If you're not at least 17, you should not be listening to this show.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going by the MPAA, which is the R-rated.
Yeah. MA plus or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it says explicit.
You should be 18, but 17.
But I'm just saying it's hard to... This is what's so crazy about this show. Even now, 4 seasons in, I still have to be like, what? I didn't think... When I was like, hey, let's talk about a superhero show that'd be talking about cum this much, but here we are.
Well, I mean, yeah. Did you read the comics? Or was it just not that much in the comics?
I read the... This is very much in the same tone.
All right, well then, I don't know what you want then.
I still feel it's better than the books, but...
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying...
I want to be very clear. I only read like the first 3 volumes. It wasn't hooking me. Then I skipped ahead and I looked at the ending to see where it goes, and I was like, okay.
To be honest, whenever these things happen, like what was it called? The orgy, the last season with Soldier Boy. Herogasm.
Great episode,
right? But to me, it's mostly played for, and I receive it as comical. Like this is, if you think about it, I don't know about anybody else, but one of my post-coital thoughts is like, wow, like, look how my face looks, you know what I mean? Like probably pretty stupid, it's just one of those thoughts. Or like maybe I have a cramp. Just saying.
Where are we going?
We do stupid shit when we're looking for that, and you think about people who have a lot of power and a lot of time on their hands and superpowers, no less. You got to understand that most of this is like really comical shit because it's shining a light into humanity a part of humanity we don't often see for good reason, because we don't need to see like everybody's fucked up, like, you know, kinks and shit. We're not kink shaming here,
but I think
but
it also
that is a little fucked up to you know, want to cut a hole in somebody, like Tech Knight was about to do.
This is
to
what I
Huey.
mean. So this is what I think is interesting. I think this of people that maybe have enjoyed the comic and not like the show, because the show deviates so much from the comic. But I feel like recently there are some threads that I feel like, okay, we're kind of leaning more into where the comic was going. Like, and it's what's great about it is what makes it such a good adaptation. And there's going to be people that are going to fucking torch me in the comments, like I said this about Fallout. But I think this is a great adaptation because it's taking concepts in the book that were too brash and too edgy for edgy's sake, and doing
for
it for
edgity's sake,
for just because he fucking hates superheroes. Like the whole Tech Knight thing, fucking holes, is played for laughs in this show, like it is in the comics. But it gets to a much darker and crazier level in this.
I'm sure,
and I think it's better because this is also the closest it gets to the subject material into sexual assault, because there is sexual assault in that book a lot. Or not a lot, but it happens a few times throughout
we saw
that book.
First episode, The Deep and Starlight.
Yes, and it's just like in the book. It's right in your, like, there's sexual harassment, like, in sexual assault.
Doesn't that senator repeat that stupid shit about, you know,
they asked, if they get raped, that
whatever.
they,
yeah. We won't repeat
the body
it.
could stop.
No. We don't need to. The point is that, yes, it's touched upon in this show a lot.
That's what I mean with the Tech Knight thing, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, in the books, Tech Knight fucks a meteor and dies. Like, he goes out in space, finds this, he can't help himself.
A meteor?
Yeah, because in the books and in the show,
he's more super powered in the books.
No, he's in space with a fucking spacesuit. Sorry,
don't get all pissy.
You can't. I'm trying to get my fucking point across. Damn it! So. In the books, he's in space. He's doing like a space thing, a space mission or something, and he finds a meteor, and he can't help himself, and he tries. There's holes in the craters in the meteor, you know, and he fucks the meteor into the earth and dies. Very funny, but it's much darker in this, where it's his comeuppance is he's trying to cut a hole into Huey and then fuck it, which is even more sinister than I thought.
I would rather have the asteroid.
And I was just like. And again, what I appreciate is how well and how close it gets up to, and you could say he was sexually assaulted because he didn't really consent to what was happening to him because he didn't know the safe word and anything, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, whether he's undercover or not,
she pleasured herself to him without his consent.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's sexual assault or sexual. I don't know how to categorize it.
No, you're right. You're right. It's absolutely sexual assault. And you know, I mean, when Tech Knight says that, you know, about like the holes and stuff, like, you know, it's meant to be like, wow, oh my God, that's shocking and everything. But honestly, like, there's nothing that humans can do that would surprise me anymore at this stage in my life. I've seen and heard it all. And I mean, that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't shock me. Like when she was like, I want to cut your dick off and cook it because I'm 100% cannibal. Well, shit, didn't we watch the fucking Army Hammer story or some shit?
But that's the thing. But that's the thing.
Rich people are fucking bored. They want fucking humans to eat and cook and shit.
And if you think about it, if somebody who has heightened senses like that,
why are we idolizing them?
If they have heightened senses like he does, it would make sense that he would be a masochist. And want those kind of
sure,
and associate those things of like, I want to see people squirm.
I love that he gets strangled and killed
by his butler.
Goddamn internment camps.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Because his whole plot in this is his. By the way, I love this so much. So he is a superhero because his family got rich on being slave catchers, and then they created prisons, and that. He goes, yeah, this isn't entertainment money. This is generational wealth because they did all this, created prisons, and then I became a superhero to round up these people, throw them in prisons, and then go from there.
Whether you know it or not, I mean, that is exactly what's happening in our country. It's not just, you know, one guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bunch of corporations.
We should not have privatized
who
prisons.
are making money off of people being in prison so that, the people who have money who influence voters, you know, by doing, you know, what they do in office, are getting money for these prisons. So of course they're gonna make laws to put more people in prisons. They hate the fucking idea of federally legalizing marijuana because that means they have like shitloads of prisoners gone. Just gone, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
who's gonna make those fucking license plates?
I worked for a place that did fraud and disputes for credit cards and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that came through a lot, one of the ways that people did it a lot was through prison whatevers. Okay, if you don't know this, they don't have like glass and like you sitting in a phone anymore. It's them sitting in a room and you sitting outside that room with a video screen that you talk to on the phone too. You don't get to actually see them behind glass anymore. And it is fucking ridiculously expensive per minute. That is one thing that has changed about the prison system that you don't even know about. That is what people are having to do now. Instead of just going to see their loved ones and being able to put hand on glass for free, now they're going to be charged up the ass to see a fucking video representation of this poor fucking schmuck who's probably in jail for what, having a fucking ounce of weed on him?
Yeah.
Congratulations, America, you fucked up.
So that's what's so crazy about this revelation of like, oh, fuck, they're going to put in dissidents in these internment camps.
If you don't think that's what fucking Trump wants to do with that Project 2025, you're insane.
Yeah.
Why do you think they talk about the 25th Amendment?
I know.
I stop.
I
will stop.
I stop.
I will stop.
I step and now.
I stop and now.
We got a little Borat on me.
A little French. I stop and now.
Yeah,
No,
Frenchie's still in prison. He won't talk to
Jerks.
Kimiko. So that is happening. They do finally get Huey out. They bust him out by.
Thank God.
Yeah. Starlight knocks out Firecracker.
He'd already picked out a couple spots. Ugh.
Yeah, he had targeted out and was ready to cut it out. I'm like, oh Jesus! And then, like, how can you torture a masochist? And then they get into the other. By the way, he had his sidekick chained up to the wall.
Yeah, Ladio.
And so
he
finally breaks free, gets into his bank accounts, and they send money off to Black Lives Matter and like there's all these other charities. They're just taking away all this money. So
Tech Knight is very much like a Batman, right?
Yeah,
because he's independently wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where like his
generational racist parents.
Yeah, that's what he talks about during that conversation. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, that's entertainment money. This is real money."
I think it's time for a reboot. The Tech Knight.
Yeah, it's been a year since my last movie. I think it's time for a reboot. But it was a great way to look. There's concepts introduced in real. In fake shows that are fictionalized, shows that are fanciful and out of this world, and wow, that's fantastic, but they introduce ideas that are from our world because art imitates life, and whether you know it or not, in this country, go look it up, man. That is one of the big reasons why the powers that be. It's all connected with money, and right now the powers that be are making most of their money off of prisons, off of private prisons.
We also have the Deep having a conversation with Black Noir where he's getting
that
drunk.
Was weird.
And he's like, I don't even like.
I can fly, right?
Sake and shit, and he's like, well, yeah, and that the Deep essentially
some people
says
laugh at me.
They used to laugh at me, and then when I paralyzed them and beat the shit out of them, they weren't laughing. Violence is power. And that's why the original Black Noir was so fucking rock hard when he'd kill people.
Well, because he had a hole in his brain, too.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then, anyway, so that...
All I found was fucking 7 crates of fucking weird Buster Beaver drawings.
That was so funny. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
We know from...
Also, what's a black ninja? What the fuck?
Right, we know from watching previous seasons that when we finally delved into fucking Noir's whacked out fucking brain... Ugh. Now let's be who somebody beat the shit out of him, Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
So that's why he was, which is a tragedy in itself. And despite the fact
his guts out.
Despite the fact that it was then he died. Despite the fact that because this is a new guy. Despite the fact that he was maybe not a great guy, a nice guy before that. You got to know that he was pretty
much lobotomized
by Soldier Boy. To the point where he's just an automaton at that point.
Yeah. So speaking of lobotomies,
despite the fact that it was a cartoon, it was still tragic.
When Kimiko and Starlight do eventually get to the tech cave, MM protects them by shooting Sage in the head because Sage finds them. And then so she goes down
in the
and then
left temple.
he has what we think is to be a heart attack. We find out later it's just a panic attack. But he collapses, so they got to get him to the hospital. So Kimiko gets a hold of A-Train and says, take him to the hospital. So A-Train grabs him and runs him back.
He has a moment where
Sage
he
is
feels like
gone.
a hero again.
Yeah, Sage is gone again. Yeah, he has a little boy that like smiles, so he has a moment of like, oh, I did something good. So yeah, Sage is gone when that all happens, and then Sage.
I thought she was dead, and then you reminded me that her brain.
Before she starts talking, she comes to the scene, and I'm like, wait a minute, would that mean like she's brain damaged or something? Because I thought she was gonna come. First I was like, she's not dead.
Right.
Her brain's gonna regenerate.
I thought she was dead. But the first thing, like the moment leading up to that, or that scene was fantastic because in the background, Kimiko is trying to find the book that opens the thing so they can go rescue Huey.
Yeah.
And Sage is just fucking egging Mother's Milk on, right?
He's like clenching his hand.
So
trying
in the
to
background,
calm
you
down.
keep hearing thump,
Yeah.
thump, while he's and I don't know if you ever watched Punch Drunk Love.
No.
Okay. In that movie, when Adam Sandler's character starts to lose it, there's music that plays, and my girlfriend at the time and I watched it, and we had to turn it off after like the second time because the music is so rattling that it made us uneasy, right? So we would turn off the movie. That's kind of what it was. It was a way to get the viewer agitated. Like I got anxious, listening to that whump, that rhythmic, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a great way in the story to make it make sense for that. So are we thinking that there's only one way to do her brain or else she is fucked? Or what do you think? Is it she hasn't
I'm wondering if
regenerated
it's
by the
brain
time of the
damage
party?
but then I was like, maybe it'll regenerate too. I don't know. Because I'm on the thing of like, is she brain damaged because it isn't the lobotomy?
She says that.
Yeah, she says brain damage.
Right.
Excuse me, I hit puberty.
Every show.
Every time.
Every shoe.
She says, yeah, I have brain damage.
What I need
He goes,
is...
what's wrong with you? And she's like, I need to... Because it's always funny, too, because when she's lobotomized, she wants junk food and she's horny.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the two things that always happen when she does
Well, to be honest, dude, when all you...
What does anybody want in life?
Reduce yourself to your most basic needs, and what do you want? Sex and food.
Well, exactly. That's
In
why.
that order.
It does. I mean, sometimes it depends on the night.
Ladies. Is that I also think that's our cue for just being like, never mind what we just said.
Forget it. That last 35 minutes, cut it out.
Cut it.
Episode starts now.
The episode starts now. Fuck.
That's your cold open.
That's your cold.
35 minutes cold open.
35 minutes, you missed it.
Oh,
have you ever watched Blue Bloods?
I was gonna say Blues Brothers. I'm like, motherfucker, yes.
My mom watches that, and I used to
Oh,
watch
that's
it.
Tom Selleck, right?
Right. Now,
How does that relate to the fucking boys?
It's called Off Panel Off Topic, motherfucker.
So anyway, overall, great episode. I can't wait to see where this goes. 2 episodes left.
So you're talking about a 35-minute cold open.
Yeah.
Now,
You watched Blue Bloods.
I can't tell you how many times I've been watching that show, and they have the longest fucking cold opens. They're
Yes.
like 15,
5 minutes.
20 minutes long. No, they're like 20 minutes long.
No way.
Yes.
No.
Yes way.
No way. Half the
Yes
show.
way.
You're telling me a 45-minute show and half of it is a fucking cold open?
Sometimes.
Oh yeah, shit. We've got the title card. Throw it in.
I feel like it sometimes.
You
They're
know
like,
what you're watching.
Did we put on Blue Bloods with all the...
We know this is on in the background while you're snoring.
And the character shots of the people. It
That just feels like an old people show.
It totally is.
I'm gonna suck down some of these Werther's originals and watch some fucking Blue Bloods.
Werther's originals.
I love
Fuck yeah, dude.
They're tasty in any age,
Fuck
but
yeah.
it's more associated with older people.
Werther's.
Werther's.
I got the kind that tastes like candied apples.
We're there for Blue Bloods. We started watching
Werther's, do you want to
Before
watch a
we
show that still thinks cops are awesome?
before we get to the Acolyte. My wife and I love watching trash TV, as you know. This is not a reality TV show, though. This is a scripted drama that still is airing, I think,
What?
on ABC.
What?
It's just little ditty.
Called Jack and Mary.
It's a little ditty called 911. So this is a show.
That show is
that
the most
focuses-
garbage.
Oh, buddy, believe me, I know. So this focuses on a cop, an operator for the 911, fire department, and then some EMT guys. And Ashley and I cannot help to watch it because it is like daytime.
I get it.
It is like daytime soap level bad of like, what are we doing here?
I get it because my mom watches that show, and every time I walk past, here's the thing about like
And then they made a spinoff with Rob Lowe.
which fantastic. I can't. I used to like be really judgy. Like my ex used to watch Criminal Minds. I fucking hate Criminal Minds.
Criminal
I fucking
Minds.
hate that show, dude. It is so over fucking wrought, and nobody ever fucking smiles. It's just, God, Thomas Gibson, man, I loved you in Dharma and Greg.
I think Joe
Mantegna, who is now somehow.
Wasn't he Fat Tony? On
Yes, I am Fat Tony.
Criminal Minds. I love that dude. I love Joe Mantegna.
Whenever I don't bring back the money, Mrs.
You know,
Fatoni
I
says,
never for the longest.
where are you getting the monies?
Tyler.
When are you getting the monies?
Tyler.
And so forth.
I only thought that the Joe Mantegna joke in The Waterboy was funny because I'm like, oh, it's Joe Montana, Joe Mantegna, And then years later, I'm like, oh, that's an actor. I thought that was a fake name in that movie.
I like him, but the thing is, it's so trash. And like
911.
Here's the thing. I used to get really fucking judgy, but it's like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore because like I don't know what. I watch Newhart all the time and news radio all the time and fucking.
I'm always like, hey, Tyler, are you watching Newhart?
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
And that's usually the right answer. But, I have to say, like, I get it. Like when we first went to Raw, right? Like, what a fucking crazy thing I've never been to. And I used to watch wrestling, so I kind of got it. But if you don't get wrestling, go see it live. Even AEW was the spectacle. It's the fucking spectacle, right? So I totally get why, like, you and Ashley, or why you guys watch shows like that, like Vanderpump Rules and stuff, because it's the spectacle, right?
Oh, yeah. It's the drama. But no, it's terrible. And, I mean, like, sometimes if I'm like, I got nothing going on and I just need to brain rot on the couch, maybe I'll watch it because it's just so stupid. So stupid.
Instead of doing that, I do something else, but it's the same thing.
Instead of that, I masturbate to classical music.
Oh,
Fuck you.
Oh, Bach. Oh, Mozart. Beethoven.
You know me, spanking it to the Baroque, right?
Instead of watching trash TV, I watch TV that I've seen a million times. So I'm doing the same fucking thing in my brain.
I watched The Office all the way through like 4 times.
I'm doing the same thing. It's just that I think because I'm like, I'm watching a scripted sitcom. Like I used to get all judgy, like, well, you're watching a scripted, stupid, half a fucking hour long thing about stupid fucking. Like CSI, I just want to be left alone and lift my arms. And
When do we ever play this?
Bring America baked bread again and buck fucking dig a butt in your goat and stuff in the fucking banana bread shit. And CSI Miami and shit. And fucking taking your glasses off and fucking making equipment. Yeah, and fucking.
All right, so the Acolyte episode 6. The YouTube videos always gonna be like, why are they always giggling?
Wow, they
Listen to the
always
frickin'
giggle.
episode,
Listen to the
dick.
fucking episode. Oh, did I do it wrong?
Oh, did I cuss too early? Damn.
Fuck.
All right. So Acolyte episode 6. We learned some more things in this show.
I wish they wouldn't have asked. First of all, I talked to somebody online, and they were saying the same thing that I was thinking, which is, why are we taking 6 episodes and we still don't know what happened on fucking Bendock?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
way to leave us with another clip. Way to be the Master Chef and the fucking Master Chef Junior of fucking Star Wars television. And like, before we get.
So here's what here's the thing that I think is.
You won't even let me finish my thought.
What were you saying?
You had.
I was listening. And I waited for you.
You did this. You said to calm down.
Because I was trying to add to your point.
Oh, the point is that MasterChef and MasterChef Junior and those types of shows, like, they keep you on the hook by going to commercial, right? If you're watching it on regular TV.
When you watch it on Hulu, it's just back-to-back bumpers.
Totally get it. But, like, my mom watches on TV. Yeah. So you're sitting there and you're like, sometimes I'll walk by and I want to see what happens.
Oh, yeah, the music
and
builds.
The next person is... And it's like, oh, fuck you, Acolyte.
But my point to add to you were like, I do feel like on one hand we've said, yes, this feels like a TV show, and it does.
So,
but I feel like we waste so much time. Like episode 4 is filler. This episode doesn't feel like filler because of stuff. Yeah, of the stuff with the stranger. But like episode 3 is so fucking useless.
Yes.
And episode 4, you could have just made that one episode, consolidated it, because they're both half-hour, like 35-minute episodes. You could have consolidated it because it literally ends with them getting there anyway. Have that be one episode, and then go from there. Because I feel like so much of this back end of these episodes are so much better than that first half that it's like it's so frustrating. Because
yeah, I get it.
I understand using flashbacks as a storytelling device. It's always existed when we told stories. Everybody does it. But there's a lot to be said where like we could just have characters have a conversation and explain their fucking backstory and not waste an episode on it.
Why
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what, can we have more conversations in movies like that?
We've talked about this a lot, and there's no app. You're on a streaming service. None of this is going to be played on television. This is why I think so that if they run out of content like on TV, they can just rerun Disney Plus shows on like ABC, and that way they have like shows.
Yeah,
but
that's what they did with Miss Marvel.
Other than that, I'm saying like it doesn't matter like whether you have 6 or 5 or 7 or 3. I don't fucking care. I don't need a set amount of episodes.
Yeah.
Tell the fucking story you want with the beats that you want, and I'll fucking watch it. And if it's good, awesome. But yeah, we don't need 4 episodes to get to episode 5. We need 1 episode before episode 5. 1 is setup. 2 is them getting their fucking asses murdered, and then 3 is this one.
So here's
Christ.
And here's a bigger. I know. Calm down.
I know.
Calm down.
You know what?
Here's the problem as a whole, I think, with... I don't want to be too negative on this because I did enjoy this episode.
I did too.
But I will say, sometimes it is hard to look at shows and not see the obvious, this is a product, this is a product, this is a product. And it's always been like that for Star Wars. It's always been like that for superhero. I'm just saying, like...
The Basil character.
Hanging the shot on the helmet a lot felt like that. But... by the end of the episode, there's a narrative reason why there's so much attention to the helmet, and then when it's paid off, I'm like, okay, it is still a product.
Great ending.
It is still a product, but it isn't just this cool looking helmet to be a cool looking helmet. There's something to it. You know what I mean?
I think people have been more apologetic of the prequels in later years. But the fact remains is that you could have done the fall from grace of Anakin Skywalker so much better than Lucas did. I know. He came up with the whole fucking concept, right? But if you want a really, really good, excellent fucking cinematic way to show somebody being seduced to the dark side, this is how you fucking do it.
I love it. Yeah.
This is how you fucking do it, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I still love Revenge of the Sith. I still love it because, it's just... I always liked the idea of, like, what would have happened if Anakin hadn't gotten, put into the Darth Vader suit. If he had been Darth Vader as a dude or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he is for a little bit when he goes and does the thing over at the Jedi Temple. Like,
no, and you're right. It's a great example of...
I'm not saying he's good. He kills all the kids, man.
You and I have talked about this, like how there's always stories have certain, we only tell so many stories and everything. So this story of, seducing someone to the dark side, to see it portrayed in this way is really interesting of him to be, she's like, she talks like she's a prisoner. He's like, you're talking about being a prisoner, you're holding a weapon. And he's like, no one's holding you here. And he goes, if you want, you can swim to the ship. I would go now.
I'm convinced that fucking OSHA was his target all along. I'm convinced.
I think so too. Because...
Wow, what a hot take, Tyler.
This Cheetos flaming hot take.
Fucking Cheetos flaming hot take comes to you
They're
from
gonna, They're gonna hear that
Cheetos.
first like bit of it where I said where we talked about the boys and be like, there's no fucking way we would sponsor your flaming hot takes, guys.
We don't care how many viewers you get, and you get what, 381? All right.
And I said, well, I don't care. You're still delicious.
I'll eat your ass.
So the point of the helmet is where he explains to her that it is it's a deprivation, sensory deprivation. That's the words.
Just you and the Force.
Helmet. So it's just you and the Force, and it is an interesting concept because up until that point, it really was like, because Vader has a helmet and Kylo has a helmet, he's got to have a helmet, and
right, but. Yeah, I thought that at first too, but the helmet is so cool because it looks like teeth.
Yeah, it's like a smiley
human
face.
Teeth.
But then to also add on the like the little detail of it, of the little like parts where he's welded it together and put it together.
Cortosis is incredibly brittle.
Yeah, and patching back together the cortosis.
Did you see the moment where she realizes he's found an entire vein of it?
Yeah,
in that cave.
So he's just gonna keep mining it and.
Which it's according to legends, it's incredibly rare, and we need to touch on the fact that Disney owns all of this legend stuff, so it's not like anybody else can use it. So they don't even have to fucking hire people to come up with new concepts. They can just mine legends for
which is what they've been doing anyway. They've already been doing this where they've been plucking ideas from that. And using concepts from that. And
I don't mind.
Already,
like I love seeing Thrawn in live action. That was fucking cool.
No, and I love that we're doing the cortosis.
Cortosis.
The cortosis.
Because that's a cool concept, right? Like there is something.
And the Beskar stuff of like how Beskar helps. It doesn't necessarily completely make you immune to the lightsabers, but it helps against lightsabers.
Yeah.
And like, this shorts them out. And
a
like,
lightsaber can't cut through.
But the
Beskar.
fact that yes, it is a. I am, this is why we do modern mythology. It's like we could do a whole episode about that, and I would love that because I love that someone had the thought.
We could do a whole episode about lightsabers alone.
Exactly. Someone had the thought and the care to put in all this to make this world feel real, man. And have your look. I will not defend episode 3, but there are times in this show where I'm getting those feelings of like, okay, this is feeling like Star Wars again.
Oh, dude, and it's Manny Jacinto who's carrying it. Now, did you know that? Did you know how the Sith get their lightsabers red?
They pee on
it. So every Jedi has to make a lightsaber of their own, but they have to have a kyber crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And what
you do that in the Jedi games, the EA games.
In the Sith world, you make the kyber crystal bleed.
Oh,
it's the only way that you can get.
Oh
your
man,
red
you
lightsaber.
could really fuck me up on modern mythology with Star Wars shit because you know so much more Star Wars lore than I do.
Nerd.
And so could
I'm about to drop some fucking major Star Wars deep cuts once we get to the fucking whip lightsaber.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that laser lights. What's up with the lightsaber?
I don't know. It's never appeared in live action, as far as I know, or even cartoons. But I do know that Shira Bree was a character in the Marvel Comics run of Star Wars, which was after Return of the Jedi. She kind of became a character named Lumia, and she kind of was the female Darth Vader. I remember there was a comic cover that was like the female female Darth Vader is, whatever. And she was trying to resurrect the Empire. And at this point, I somebody can correct me, of course, but after Return of the Jedi in the comics, Marvel, I believe they ran for another 30 issues, I think, maybe. And I believe they were just like cleaning up remnants of the Empire for the rest of the. I don't remember, but this Lumia tried to reintegrate the Empire together, all the remnants, and like fight back or whatever. But yeah.
So I want to wrap up.
But she had a whip. She had a lightsaber that was a whip, and that's the only other. That I remember that when she had that in the comics, we had Bantha Tracks, which was a monthly newsletter for Star Wars fans, and they talked about it, how it was like there was letters and it was cool, man. It was cool.
fucking cool.
Well, it was because it was the first new like lightsaber shit we'd seen in forever.
By the way, speaking of lightsaber whip, let's have an argument about this character design because you fucking complained while watching it because we watched this together.
Hey, bad Halloween costume. Hey, why aren't you?
It looks like Star Trek.
Why aren't you on Deep Space Nine?
No, okay. By the way,
Bugging Guinan.
remember when I just bitched to you last episode that they
Kill
killed
forward.
They killed the fucking
the bar.
They killed the Wookiee off screen because it was too expensive, and you're like, "Hey, this character needs more fucking prosthetics or something, man."
That was so great. We were watching The Boys.
I'm like, didn't they just kill the fucking
We're
Wookiee?
watching The Acolyte. Say it again. You said
Yeah, because that's what I said. I said they killed the fucking Wookiee because it's too expensive, and you're like, "Hey, man, we need a fucking headdress, dude. Like, she needs tentacles."
It's more elaborate.
It's not enough to have
it more elaborate.
It's not enough.
That's what you said. We need it more elaborate.
It's not enough to have an attractive woman painted green and bald. She's gotta have tentacles and shit.
She's got to be like partially CGI'd.
Yeah. Her hair's gotta be like CG
Lightning.
and like like glowing and fucking Green Lantern aura shit. Fuck you.
Play that again, dude, because that was your version of it. Play that fucking random mine, because that was your version of it.
Yeah.
Fucking Green Lantern and shit. Play it again.
No, that's a drop.
Yeah.
In Blackest Day.
In blackest day and darkest night.
In brightest day and blackest night, no evil
whatever.
shall escape my sight.
What is it?
Those who worship evils
might beware my power.
Green Lanterns light and shit. No, and shit.
And shit.
Green Lanterns light.
Green Lanterns and shit. Light.
I'm
Don't
Hal
forget
Jordan, and we're the Green Lanterns and shit.
We're the Green Lanterns and shit. We're here to clean up your sector of the galaxy. It's dirty.
Intergalactic garbage men.
You guys have literally just put litter all over the highway. We're here to make sure that doesn't keep going, keep happening.
Get your ass to Mars.
We should get back to this show.
Let's talk about
Kill me!
Oh.
Kill me!
Yeah, see, that should be, because that's the audience going like, get back to the fucking thing you were talking about, assholes.
Okay. Let's talk about Superman Space
But then
Age.
do the it's your fault.
No, it's this one.
You egg-sucking piece of gutter trash.
Is that what you just call the audience? Wow.
No.
Wow, dude.
No.
Sloppy.
Let's talk about Superman. Let's talk about Superman Space
Are we
Age.
done talking about the Acolyte?
I thought we were. Is there anything
I
else?
thought
Oh,
we were.
whoa, yeah. Saul stops
And
May,
yeah.
from sabotaging the whole thing because she's obviously
so
with
I
Saul.
told you that before we got into the show. Like,
and then we'll, yeah.
I told you, I was like, this character doesn't need to be here at all.
Yes.
And you'll see why, because he knew the whole fucking.
That's
Saul
an
knew the whole
example
time.
of a product. That's an example of that character being a fucking
We
product
need a
to sell a
fucking
toy.
to sell the fucking
Yep.
kids.
Whereas the helmet actually has a story
That's
reason.
what the
This
pip
doesn't.
That's what the pip does.
'Cause
fucking
Saul
little
knew the
pip
whole
droid,
time!
The little fucking pip droid. You know the fucking droid that fucking Leia had and Obi-Wan? That thing's selling like hotcakes. Actually, there's no product for that yet.
Kill me!
So Saul is upset because he like clearly knows it was May the whole time, and he kind of tried to like he hugged her and like had that moment of like he was by himself and he just kind of like sat there with like fuck, all those people died. Like when he has to tell them at Coruscant, be like, my team is dead. And just like that bit of loss, like what happened with their family, with the twins' family, what happened with all this shit. And it's like, okay, I'm glad that, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of glad that the Stranger team wiped them and just killed all those guys, because now it has focus on Saul, May, Osha, and the Stranger. Those four characters. Yes, we have that other stuff with the Green Lady that doesn't have enough cool makeup design.
Hey, here's Daphne Keane appearing once more.
Here's this attractive lady painted green and bald. No! Fucking tentacles, goddammit! We're still on this.
Oh, we also
I'm
got
still mad about it.
All right, we also got to touch on the fact that that's this Mog character, this fucking douchey like fucking actuary of a fucking Jedi, this fucking accountant Jedi douche nozzle who probably shouldn't have a fucking lightsaber for. I should have a fucking lightsaber, not this Mog or whatever. But this shows us one thing about the Jedi back then, which was there were so many of them that there were bound to be fucking just generic,
some incompetent ones.
idiots. Like, Matt, are you sure you want to go? Because
Just because you're in tune with the Force doesn't mean you're like
Yeah.
Obi-Wan or Anakin.
Yeah, it means you're fucking Bob in tune with the Force, and somebody's still got to clean up the shit in the Jedi's bathrooms.
Yeah. So overall, great episode.
I have a lightsaber mop.
2 episodes.
Nobody cares, Bob.
2 episodes left. Can't wait to see where this goes. But yeah, her putting on OSHA putting on the helmet.
That was cool.
Everybody, is it a big moment because we think, oh, OSHA was the acolyte the whole time? Like, this is what's going to happen?
I believe that OSHA was his target.
Oh, and I love the sound of it just going off with the sound deprivation.
And just breathing.
And then fade to black. That's it. Like, I love it.
It's very indicative. Look, Star Wars is nothing if not great at referencing its own self and being meta about itself.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that breathing does, even though it's just her breathing, it does harken back, whether
Vader,
you like it, to Vader.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm cool with that because Vader is still
if you breathe under a helmet,
fucking
if
bar.
you breathe into a helmet, you're gonna sound like Vader.
Vader is still the bar of
Vader.
Star Wars villains.
Oh, sorry.
I got to be honest, the Stranger or Chimere, whatever you want to call him, he's one of my favorites though so far. He's fucking badass. I love that character. Sinister.
All right, let's talk about Superman.
Let's talk about Superman.
Wait, no, that was terrible. Do you think you could do like a takeoff sound effect with your mouth, like a, you know? No, I'm talking about Superman, not an airplane. That's what you got? Whoa, that's good. I like that one. All right, Superman. No. Oh, okay. And on a high note. Don't rear backwards. Let's talk about Superman Space Age. He's like revved up to do another one. I'm gonna. All right, so Superman Space Age, written by
Mark
Russell. The husband and wife team of the
Michael
Allreds.
and Laura Allred, artist and colorist. Dave Sharp, letterer. And Michael Allred and Laura Allred, collection cover artist. Now,
Tyler Allen, reader. Jake Williams,
before we get into this, I want to make sure that there's a couple things.
Should I get my copy?
Yes, so we can both look at them. You know what? Let's take it.
What a nerd.
Take a shot.
So anyway, Superman Space Age is the book we're covering this week. It's a 3-issue miniseries, and it's set in its own universe, which I will always say, like we talked about last week on the show when we were talking, kind of previewing this, it continues to baffle me how good DC is at constantly reinventing their characters.
Right.
Or finding the right artists and writers to steward these characters properly. Because I could look, there's something to be said about recency bias. And everything that you're going to look at in a subjective lens is going to have some sort of bias, right? So understand when I say this. This book is what I want Superman to be.
Yeah.
This book is my Superman. Just like the PS4 Spider-Man games or my Spider-Man, this is my Superman.
So, one thing we need to review at some point is the Superman Madman Hullabaloo, which was actually Mike Allred. I think he did it himself, although I think he might have had a writer. But it's the first time he did Superman, and it's a great fucking book. You would love it. But let me explain the significance. The book starts on the first page in 1985, and Dark Age, which we've talked about, the pariah we'll talk about in this book, shows up in that book, and he says something at one point like, all I need is up to about 1985. Now, the significance of 1985 is that was the year of the Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Oh, okay.
Right, which when you we've already finished the story, so we know.
Which makes sense because the Anti-Monitor is involved, and yeah.
Isn't it just a way for the people in those universes to describe what's about to happen to them?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it just fucking hit me. Duh, 1985. 1986 is when Man of Steel came out, and so forth. But just wanted to kind of shout that out because that's great timing. And why not take it, hey, this is 20 years from like 1963 to 1985 or so.
Well, like we mentioned in the past in a book that I mentioned on the show, it's very similar to Spider-Man life story and the Fantastic Four life story thing that Marvel did.
Yeah.
Where it's taking these heroes, putting them in this universe, and reflecting actual events in our history with these DC characters existing while it's happening. So, for example, and by the way, spoiler zone. Which hold on, let me get the Seinfeld, and then I got. You want to say it with me, or should it just be one of us? Or
what are we gonna say?
Spoiler zone.
Spoiler zone. No. Spoiler zone.
Spoiler zone. All right.
Spoiler zone. Enough.
That's right. So yeah, this is set in a world where Superman is inspired by the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah.
Because he knows he has powers at this point. He knows, but he's just been living on the farm, working with his dad, and he's just like, I have to make myself known because we just had a president assassinated. And to like play with that idea and then continue to like the fact that Lois fucking breaks Watergate later on in the story and like things like that of like taking real life events and playing them out and seeing what Superman and the Justice League would do in the situation. But I want to also say it's weird because it is connected to Dark Age, but it isn't, because as the story develops, yes, the pariah thing connects them, but
that's it.
In that story, Batman hasn't met Superman yet.
He doesn't meet him till the third issue
and
in Dark Age.
He's just a shadow, and it looks like Brainiac's robot. So it looks like a version where Superman goes with Brainiac or something. I don't know. Maybe that's why it's the Dark Age. Who knows? But because Batman in this, it has been in the Justice League and known Superman for quite some time.
Yeah, I don't know why. We'll find out. The thing that's also sucks about the Dark Age is it's a 6-issue series compared to a 3-issue one, which is this one.
It's packed in
also,
these issues.
and I liked that we read it. I liked that I read it as a
no. It's better as a
volume,
book. As a book,
yeah.
As a collected thing. It is because. It's one straight narrative all the way through for 3 issues. They're very meaty issues, but like I said, we know Superman, we know the Trinity, we know Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman well enough. They've been in the zeitgeist long enough that you don't have to spend a ton of time explaining who he is. We know he's Kal-El of Krypton. We know how he got here. We know all that stuff. So it is introduced and talked about, but it's kind of just brushed over. You know what I mean? Because by the time we meet Clark, because the beginning is at the end, right?
Yeah.
So it's in 1985. All this stuff's happening. He's going into the Fortress of Solitude. He's preparing Lois and Jonathan, all that, and then we cut to the beginning of the story, and it's just like the way that it's written. It's written, and oh my god, it's written through the journal of Clark Kent, and the whole reason he's writing in this journal is because his mom gave it to him when he left Smallville to go to Metropolis. And the reveal of how we're reading the fucking journal in this book is so great.
Yeah.
And so
like how somebody
but just
actually
how
gets
this
to
is
read
written,
it.
but this is why I love first page. Before we even get into the story, the first page already kind of is a great job of setting the tone of what this Superman is, and what makes this story so touching and moving and beautiful is just it is a consistent tone from Clark. He never gives up from page 1 to the end. And he says, there's no point, he said, in wasting your life clawing for money or fame or approval and living a life that wasn't meant for you, because when the end finally comes, all of that, everything you've ever considered it's considered an accomplishment, is stripped away, and all you have left is who you are. And just that first page alone kind of sets the tone already, because there's destruction, all this has happening. He's got a look on his face, and he's saying all these things while preparing his family for the end of everything. We don't know what's causing it or what it is, but we just know it's the end.
So then we flash back to 1963, and he's talking to his dad, and his dad's telling him a story about being in the Pacific on the island.
That gets started because Clark's like, there's got to be more I have all these superpowers and all these abilities and
He's
everything
saying
like
I
that.
could have this done before you get home,
But-
and he's like, yeah, but done
and
right
there's-
or done quick.
Right. And he also says, like, Clark feels like there's more to life than this. And Pa Kent is kind of trying to tell him that, like, life is happiness and what you, like, not fame and money, like, that doesn't mean anything. It's, that's all shit we make up. None of that matters, And the perspective, and then, done right or done quick. And then he goes into, like you said, the story of when he was in the war.
And he
And
ends up shooting a
takes
kid.
a turn. Yeah, what the heck, man? It takes a turn. He shoots a kid. And, like, he tells that story in a way of saying, like, I didn't do the right thing. I should have done what I was supposed to do. I shouldn't have done it that way. And he also just, it just talks about how, but
Just
even
start reading it.
I know, right? Because it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, because after that, he talks that story of, like, I killed a kid. And it is kind of weird because you could tell he was affected by it by the look on his face in that flashback. And that he's still affected by it. But it just shows you how good of a dad that Jonathan Kent is, because he's just kind of saying that, like, everything felt so broken after the war. I guess I was looking for the universe for some sort of sign and some proof that this wasn't all some horrible mistake. And sure enough, the universe came through, and then boom, Clark lands. And then that just kind of says, like, I like to tell him, pretty much tell his son and be like, I had all these horrible things happen. I was in this crazy shit in World War II, and you were my way out. You were my miracle from the sky.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just sets up that great relationship.
He tells him about the fortress of what we learned to be the fortress of solitude later, and he's basically Jonathan Kent is a great way of describing to Clark how to be like a good person throughout the book. And so they walk inside at that exact moment, and it's when Kennedy's shot.
So this is the part that I took a picture. There's a couple shots in this in this book that I took pictures of, but the one that I took a picture of was when they're looking at the TV, where, again, this is what I love about this version of Clark. Looking back, I think my dad was trying to tell me that trauma sears itself onto us, no matter how much we try to let it go, and that our innocence slips away no matter how hard we hold on. Like, that just, the reason I love this Clark is because he's so fucking real, and he's so speaking to the truth. Yes, all of what he's saying is true, but god damn it, none of that stops him from trying to save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because he constantly says throughout the book, hope is a lie. Hope is a lie that we make real. Like, holy fuck, this book is so good.
Yeah, and so we flash over to Washington, D.C. We are introduced to Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor.
They're in a
We're
bidding war.
introduced to Hal Jordan over the Arctic Ocean. We get introduced to
Jor-El shows up as
the people in at the Daily Planet, and
Yes.
we start talking about Lois Lane. And that's when, all of this is happening, and we go back to the farmhouse, and that's when he believes that he has to go and help. That's when he has to go. He still doesn't quite know how to fly.
Also, I want to point out, we're kind of glossing over this. He also almost completely started World War III with Russia and America because...
That's where I'm at, dude.
Yeah, I know. Because he doesn't get to the Fortress of Solitude until after that. You already said he was at the Fortress of
No,
Solitude.
I said he was telling.
Whatever, man.
He's
Throw the
telling.
book.
He's telling.
Yeah. Anyway, he takes off because he
he's
feels
telling
like he
him
needs.
about the Fortress of Solitude for the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
like, oh, yeah,
there's
by the
another.
way.
You're right. There's another ship.
So he runs off, but yeah, exactly. He's almost Hal Jordan is out over the Arctic Ocean, like we talked about, and he almost causes fucking World War III because the Russians think Superman is a
Unidentified
missile,
flying. Yeah.
like a nuclear missile on its way to whatever, and all that shit. And Hal Jordan shoots him down.
And
it ends up just being,
that's where he lands and finds the Fortress of Solitude,
Yes.
and then the conscious AI of Jor-El introduces himself.
Well, we get to read Lois Lane's article about Kennedy's assassination while We're seeing, all of these stories. We're seeing Batman with Lucius Fox and the Batmobile. Luthor's, doing like a thing about what would happen with nuclear war. And then Superman finds
the Pariah.
The Fortress of Solitude.
God damn, I am farther than
Where the fuck are you? Why are you going so fast?
Because we got a lot of cover.
All right, whatever. So he goes to the big city and he learns.
Well, yeah, he eventually. It has she.
That's fine, man. I mean, we don't have to touch on the actual beauty of the book. We can skip ahead and just
read.
So we're at.
I'm just saying, I don't want to read it beat for beat.
But
I know I'm on the same page.
One thing, the Siegel and Shoe Store. Okay.
I did see that. Yes, that was really good. Yeah.
Do you get that, Siegel and Schuster? Yeah. Okay, that's
who created the guy.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. But there's just he meets the Pariah, and the Pariah describes to him that he created the Anti-Monitor. Now, for those of you who are unaware, the Crisis on Infinite Earths stars the Anti-Monitor,
and he meets the Pariah.
Destroys all of these extra universes.
He meets the Pariah because when Lois Lane broke the story of the assassination. Broke water. That's later in the story because she gets pregnant. But when she did that story, that put Clark in the Kooks division.
Yeah,
where
how he meets the Pariah.
And that's how he meets the Pariah. But yeah, I did kind of rush you through that, and I apologize. The part where she is talking about the Kennedy assassination and all that, and writing that story of like getting all the information about that was so well done.
Yeah.
Of like just all of, and again, what I love is like, okay, let's play in the idea of like, okay, the DC universe is happening at the same time as these real world events. Like it's just a simple change and a simple idea. And again, it shows you how good of a solid foundation it is to make these characters such good pliable adaptations, because everything about this book is super. I know we're getting there. Now you're fucking rushing me.
No, I wanted you to stay where you were. Stay where you were.
We should have done 2 books. We should have had just one.
No, but there's little bits of him doing the kooks and cranks.
Yeah.
And it's like I got to be honest, it just looks like a rock to me.
Oh, it's a dinosaur egg.
But like him saying like there are aliens already among us, and he's actually an alien.
Golly, really? Yeah.
That's like such a Clark fucking Kent, But yeah, we're to the Pariah, and he meets him.
When that guy says that, he says, bored with how little they actually know, people tend to fill in the blanks with beliefs that make the world a more exciting place.
And it's true. It's true what's happening now in our world, man.
Clark is so fucking real in this book, and I love it for it. He's not... And by the way, can we just say at this point, I want to get this rant out of the way, because I knew it was going to happen at some point when we were going over this book. But if you continue to tell me that Superman like this, that is full of hope and joy and belief in people, is boring, then you don't like Superman, and shut the fuck up. Because I'm telling you right now, I cannot handle another fucking evil Superman story. I can't. We've had enough of them. And you know what? This book is an example of a balance where he can be a real human being but still make that choice to have hope.
Yeah.
Because what are we fucking doing if we don't have hope, man?
Well, that's Superman's whole gig, is like, that's why he's so great, is because he doesn't have to hope like we do. He can do anything, but he has attached himself to humanity such to a point where he's married to a human woman, and he's
chosen
us
to live as a human.
Yes. One of the things I want to point out before we go into the Pariah story and whatnot is that the Pariah, his colors and everything, and what he does very closely resemble the Spectre in the proper DC universe. You know who the Spectre is? He's a green guy with like a green hood. He's basically a pasty white dude with a green hood.
So anyway, he shows up and he tells Clark about the multiverse and running into the Anti-Monitor.
And his little antimatter chamber. This is what I love about Allred's artwork, is his ability to just make fantastical fucking Kirby-like
tell
artwork.
That story to Clark and then show it as almost like a display. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he says that he was trying to develop antimatter fuel that would transform life on my world, on my Earth, and that's when he ran into his planet being destroyed by the Anti-Monitor, which is a villain that is one of the big prominent cosmic villains in the DC universe. So I was like, oh sweet, we're doing fucking Anti-Monitor in this.
Yeah, which was cool as fuck. You're like,
yeah.
wow, cool. I don't.
So,
all right.
but so then,
where's this
but
going?
he says, I've seen everything. I've seen what he does. I know what's going to happen. The world's going to end in 1985. You're not going to have a chance. So Superman still writes him off as a kook, but then he's also like, I kind of believe him a little bit. Then we cut to Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne having the bidding war.
I tested myself.
Yeah, so it essentially shows Bruce Wayne in a prototype bat suit, essentially, because it's but it's a bat helmet with like the ears on it are like radio signals.
Prototype Batmobile, fucking big wheel.
Oh
cars.
my god, I love it, dude! This is the kind of shit that I love about, and he does it again in fucking Dark Age with Ra's al Ghul, however you want to say it. But that whole backstory of like, okay, let's take some of these things and play with them a little bit and move it around, and like, okay, why not make it where Bruce Wayne would just fucking sell Wayne to, because the best part of this too is Bruce Wayne doesn't give a shit if he gets the bid. He's just trying to take all of that, because later we talk about Lex Luthor and he says, cool idea, but how about bomb shelters for the nuclear war? So they make that decision and take it, and he goes, oh great, that means we're gonna have to, air quotes, dispose of all of that tech. So like the fact that he used that bidding war to create his Batman tech.
Well, Lucius told him basically to do it. But before we get to that, there's a point where Lois and Clark are in the bar. It's right after the bidding thing, and they're he finally tells her about the pariah, and she tells him about General Lane's story in the war about the bridge.
Yeah, her dad.
Right. And this is when he says something about the pariah. Said something about. For one thing, he said that the United States would be conquered by insects like the termites or earwigs. I don't recall exactly. And she's like, haha, whatever. And they're walking out, and the TV is Ed Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Yeah.
That's one of those cool, like, interesting, like, anyway. But then they go to the Pentagon where one of the guys literally gets, you're right, we get to, Luthor gets the contract. So Lucius Fox says, hey, man, we can just, put this stuff away, and then you can use it. And that's, Lois, we show Superman in the Fortress of Solitude learning how to be Superman, which is a pretty cool kind of montage. Yeah. It's basically a montage.
Yeah. So that's how he's kind of learning how to control his powers, is this Jor-El, his space dad.
We see Lois going to the marches in Alabama.
Yeah.
Talking to actual Martin Luther King. And then he sees that she's in there, but that whatever, they won't.
Oh, they
tell
won't
him.
let him in there because
so he busts him out.
He goes, of course, thank you, gentlemen, and then just comes back and busts him out of prison. We get a cut. This is probably the craziest part of the book. So we cut to.
I love Luthor with and a 1 and a 2.
Yeah. So Lex Luthor's about to do a demonstration, but I love that they have all these like bubbles on the back of the cover, and like his looks like a sitcom. Because he's in this Hawaiian shirt that he is in this. Yeah. So he's setting up in this island to drop a bomb on where he is at, which is these bomb shelters that he designed for the nuclear war. He says, I'm going to trust it so much that I'm going to go live in this bomb shelter, and you guys are going to bomb it for testing. Thanks for loaning them to me. And they're like, okay, that's the plan. So they go and drop the bomb, and he directed the bomb on Coast City. So Lex Luthor drops a nuke on Coast City and just levels it.
But and a 1 and a 2
and so everybody else on the board is like, what the fuck? And he's like, hey, everybody chill out. We're going to be fine. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. All the boardroom dudes.
Here's a check for $1 million. Dr. Silas Stone, a.k.a. Cyborg's dad.
Oh!
So then we get back to Hal Jordan, and he's getting ready to fly off and do his thing. And then Bruce Wayne is talking to Alfred, and he's going down to the Batcave. Again, we get a lot of Batman in this, too, and I love it.
Yeah.
For that, I was a little
Hal Jordan appropriately is
but
reporting that, Coast City's gone.
Hal Jordan finally sees Superman for the first time.
Yep.
And then he finds Abin Sur, and he's not chosen. He just takes it off Abin Sur.
But you are here. That's one of my favorite parts about this book.
You are not worthy, but you are here. Yeah.
Yes. That's so cool, man. And like, yeah.
So then,
So Superman,
Another Lex tries to launch another nuke because he has 2. So then he's like, well, fine, nuke fucking Metropolis.
He's trying to start World War III,
Yeah.
and after after Abin Sur gives Hal Jordan the ring,
there's a
we
counteroffensive.
see Superman because Johnson has already responded. They're talking the two
Superman
Russian.
stops the bombs.
He stops all the bombs, and they are able to arrest Lex Luthor
because
Batman
broke into the bunker in his
And Dental.
modified armor.
We see Lois Lane seeing that, and because of all this shit and whatnot, he gets Luthor goes to prison, and they go to complete nuclear disarmament, which is awesome. We see Superman has disposed of them on the moon, the space age, and everything, and we see him going back to Smallville.
And Bruce Wayne builds
to talk to his dad one more time,
Yeah.
and everything, and that's when we see Wonder Woman come out from hiding, and the whole
more
Bruce
heroes are
Wayne,
showing up,
and that's basically the end of the quote unquote first issue. But it really it doesn't
they
matter.
form the Justice League by the end of it, and it's cool to see. I've always loved the idea that Superman is kind of the
At
genesis.
least mine has an alliteration.
And I love that James Gunn is doing this.
And
because
screw you guys who saw the Hawk Woman photos and were like, "This is still gonna suck."
Hey, that's
Fuck off.
that's a different episode.
Yeah,
But like what I love what James Gunn is doing and what this book does is like Superman has to be the genesis because Superman is the first one. He's the big gun, but of all these
which is
heroes,
funny because he wasn't in the original.
I know.
Just like,
But anyway,
So
then we cut to
1972,
the 70s. There's a pimp.
you
and-
got to remember Scotch because he actually shows up later on when he gets the clinics
yeah.
in New Mexico. Remember, because he takes this pimp to New Mexico. New Mexico, you can't do that. I got rights. Yeah, I understand that. You can exercise them in New Mexico.
Yeah, because she's trying to beat up on these
We see
sex
Superman.
workers.
Yeah, we see Superman. It's the passage of time. It's basically the early 70s, late 60s. He's being Superman. He saves the Earth from an asteroid. And this is what you were talking about to me, is he just keeps saying to her, like, I just saved the Earth from an asteroid.
Yes. Every time people are so ungrateful to him, and he just keeps going, I just saved the Earth from an asteroid. Every time they get mad, I just saved the Earth from an asteroid. Like, it's, and I love that so much about this Clark.
This is my favorite. One of my favorite parts about Lois Lane is he finally is like, what do you want me to do? What would you do if you were me? And she said, this might sound pretentious, but I feel like I already have a job saving the world. Don't get me wrong, I think you're great, but thousands of people died of starvation and disease during the time it took me to say that I think you're great. I feel that in the end, the world doesn't need saving so much as it needs changing. Yeah. And I totally, absolutely believe that.
Yeah.
So he's kind of chagrined, and he goes off to talk to Jor-El.
So then we see Brainiac
for the first time, which I love. If anybody has read Flaming Carrot comics, I believe it's Bob Burden, and he actually made the Mystery Men from that movie.
Yeah.
That you might remember that.
I know what it is.
You know, yeah. But that's very, very very Flaming Carrot like esque, like that kind of art style, the Brainiac. Then we see Gotham and
Oh, this is great because Batman. This is what I love about this Batman is where he comes to the realization that, wait a minute, if I'm going to clean up Gotham, I'm doing it the wrong way because I'm going after guys that are torching buildings.
We see Maxwell Lord come into the picture.
Yes, Maxwell Lord shows up, and he becomes a part of the board for Wayne. But Wayne is out to expose his own company because he knows they're burning down their own buildings for tax reasons.
Yeah.
And they're hurting the worst people, the poorest people. He goes, I'm beating up the wrong people. I need to go after the fucking billionaires. I need to go after my own board.
What I actually created was the world's most expensive debate club. So
and then
I
he keeps
think
getting pissed because he doesn't want to be in the Justice League.
I think not killing people is a good place to start. And Green Arrow's like, heh. And Wonder Woman, what do you mean, heh? We kill people every day simply based on who we choose to save and not to save. It's like the trolley problem. And Aquaman's like, what's a trolley? And Green Lantern, what if the principle is that we try not to kill people? And Green Arrow says, you are such a squish.
And then Batman's like, all right, I'm fucking out of here. Like, this is boring. Like, I got to fix shit.
Save the Earth from an asteroid. You're welcome.
Yeah. So then he breaks into Wayne's Enterprises and sets in motion what he's going to do with that. We also find out that Flash is defusing bombs so he could do it, and he's trying to do
I love the Flash in this.
The Flash is just constantly annoyed because people aren't moving fast enough.
Oh, don't worry about that bottle. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So Lois Lane takes care of the Watergate break-in, which is just really, really, really funny. And then we see, my brother I think would really like this. We see Superman saving the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah.
So, thanks Superman, but now we don't have a fucking Gordon Lightfoot song, asshole. Sorry.
He goes back to Smallville.
We do see real quick. We do see him meeting with Nixon and with Elvis. We see Lois Lane meeting with Deep Throat, and then he goes back to Kansas.
Yeah, because Lois Lane
telling mom about
Lois Lane is Deep Throat. No, I'm just kidding. Well, she's the one who exposes Watergate.
Right, but she's meeting with Deep Throat in the garage.
And then mom he meets with Lois again, and this is at the bar, and this is where he really falls in love with her.
Yeah.
He continues saving people, and then he has another interview with Lois Lane, but then he tells a story of how his dad was shipwrecked and survived. And what he said about hope is important because this is what keeps the theme of the book.
Sweet Lord of Ham.
Toby, it was his dad and another guy named Toby, and they were waiting for 3 days for this ship to save him, and the other guy died at one point. So he goes, but figuring the boat was merely late, my father continued to hang on. Toby died on the 3rd day. Apparently his head wound was worse than it looked, but on the 4th day a boat came. And that's when my dad knew that Toby had been lying.
Well,
Hope
yeah,
is a lie.
because he said you said you were gonna arrive 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And he said, "What are you talking about? Nobody radioed. We just happened by
they found him by luck. Yeah, nobody was coming. But yeah, that should signify that human beings can hold on and believe. If they have hope, they can do amazing things. And that's what Superman understands. And that's what he's always trying to talk about. That's why if you want to say that's boring and you don't like it, fine. But if you can't get behind a guy like this, if you can't get behind someone who just says, I want people to believe and hope in better things, because you have to, then if you don't like that guy, then that says more about you. Even though he's a fictional character.
We go to another Earth, which has just been destroyed by Brainiac, clearly. And we see a Superman with a black symbol. And he's angry at Brainiac because he comes back and he's trying to tell him, look, we're going to stop the anti-monitor, me and all these other Brainiacs, but I need you to join me. And he's like, you think... And he just tells him, look, I'm going to go, but you should really consider it. And we go back to the normal universe where they start talking about Brainiac. And Brainiac is on his way to Earth.
Also, I love the fact that when Brainiac first gets talked about, Hal Jordan brings it up because the interns have been looking at him. They're like, well, why didn't you take care of it? Like,
we can't.
Yeah. But... Batman continues to do his crusade against his own company where he talks about a fire and the arson and all the things to expose them. And then the Gotham Gazette says anonymous hippie accuses Wayne Enterprise of arson.
Yeah.
And then he sets up this whole thing where he throws a party at his place in this yellow tux. He goes and swaps out with Alfred the yellow tux. And he's like, yellow tux, really? He goes, but that's the point. It's supposed to be distinct so they know that what I was wearing. So then he switches into his bat suit. Alfred goes into in the yellow tuxedo, and he essentially sets it up that he kidnapped Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry, I'm on a crunch.
I know. Are we?
Yeah. We
are. Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know that.
What were you going to say before that?
Nothing.
No, go back.
No, but we kind of skipped over the part where they fall in love, Lois Lane and Clark. But we get to we get to Bruce Wayne doing his thing, I love this part. Clark, what is it? Lois, I am Superman? You knew, but how? Clark, I'm the reporter who broke Watergate.
I love that almost every time they're together that she knows almost immediately.
Yeah. And so they show them on their honeymoon and stuff, and he takes her up to the Fortress of Solitude.
Thirsty. Because they got into the limo, and she immediately
man.
Put up the partition. Was
Have you seen this guy?
I mean, he's hot. I mean, I would say the same thing. I'd be like,
So then Brainiac finally comes to their Earth, and he's like, God, this is when the Flash is like, you guys are talking too slow. And he says, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take your shit, and so we can go stop
Take
the
your
Anti-Monitor.
resources so we can fight. Yeah, fight.
They decide to fight back, and it is just a fucking massacre. In fact, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, gets killed during it.
because
they
Brainiac has
somehow-
a machine that's
Yeah.
prepared for
They
every
somehow
fight.
Brainiac back away, and he says, okay, well, maybe this one is possible to join us. And he gets back to the Fortress of Solitude. I've saved the world. That's
Also,
the end of issue
also
2.
Brainiac, he consults the other members of his group. I don't know their names. I can't remember what race of alien he is, but he like confers with them of like what they're gonna do.
Well, it's all the other Brainiacs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's all the other Brainiacs
From all the other universes. So then issue 3 starts with the Superman and the let's call it 83Z because I'm not
the
reading
one
all
that
those
got
numbers.
destroyed that said you should
The
know
one-
that what you did was bullshit.
But also, it's the one we were talking about last issue when Brainiac comes to try
So-
to recruit this Superman
so-
because this Superman is important.
So we jumped to 1982, 3 years away from the apocalypse, and the pariah is just like, it's like still happening. Can't stop it. It's gonna happen.
Like most human beliefs, you don't believe it because it's true. You believe it because it's flattering.
Yeah. But
So we see a brand new
see
Hall of Justice, John Stewart.
John Stewart, Green Lantern, Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter,
Hawkman,
Hawkman.
Hawkwoman, the Red Tornado, Black Canary,
So many DC.
fucking Martian
Both
Manhunter,
Hot
dude.
Girl and Hawkman.
Yeah, man. I thought you
s-
said Hot Girl.
Yeah. So yeah,
Who's Hot Man?
at this point,
But this is where John Stewart takes over and says, "Yo, everybody, I don't know if you. Oh, there's Adam. But I don't know if you know
Oh,
about
yeah.
this Anti-Monitor
Plastic
thing.
Man.
But oh yeah, of course, dude, I missed the Plastic Man. Hey guys, I don't know if you know this, but yeah, we're gonna die. This is the Anti-Monitor type of shit, and this is what's happening. So, that's what happens.
they talk about the multiverse and the Matterverse is what the Brainiacs say as they're talking to our Superman, and they're trying to propose that to him, like, hey, join us, leave Earth. We don't care about that. We want you.
Yep.
But then they said, fine, then you can die with your planet. We'll let you have your resources because he says no. And then we also flash to the devastated Superman
With the black
with the black
symbol.
S. Yeah.
This is what your conflicts are too petty to be worth remembering in any great detail, but I feel no guilt. It's actually more surprising when this doesn't happen to an Earth.
Mm-hmm. So then we cut to Lex Luthor in prison after 20 years being like, I want out. They're like, how do we get you out? You murdered 2 million people. And he's like, we'll figure it out. I got a new lawyer. We'll figure some shit out.
His work clothes.
So then Clark goes back to Smallville one more time, talks to his dad, and they're shucking cord, and he's like, yeah, why do you have to wear that? And he's like, this is my work uniform. And they have this thing of like, I could have all these shucked by the time you blink, old man. I know, but then you'd miss out on all my corn-based wisdom.
Ha!
And he's having a snowball fight with Jonathan because Jonathan is older at this
Jor-El,
point.
his other dad, yeah.
And then he has the phone call from his mom or whoever saying that his dad's passed. And this one crushed me because I remember started to read it at one point during the day. It's like I opened the book to this where my bookmark was, and it was like that whatever years you could give someone or days or minutes that they otherwise would have had, or a gift you never fully appreciate until it's gone. Talking about losing someone, I'm like, jeez, rip me to pieces. And then Superman really kind of goes to his endgame plan. And he's working with his dad on some DNA stuff with Kryptonian technology.
Developing the superpower I'd always neglected, and perhaps the only one that truly mattered. And earlier in the book, Jor-El tells him all about all his superpowers, and he touches on his scientific, advanced genius intellect. And that's what he's talking about. Because it is true in original Superman comics, like back in the day, when that was one of his powers, is that he's also he's not just super physically, but also mentally, because his brain is whatever. So he was even better detective than, like, say, Bruce Wayne. Then we cut to him quitting the Justice League.
Yeah.
Flash gives him a bottle, shipping a bottle. He's like, "No, man, that's the 10th one I made today," which is funny. 84 in Gotham. Batman is fighting some Riddler type dudes.
And then we see the introduction of the Joker,
who's really cool. I mean, not cool at all. I'm just saying.
So we cut to the trial of Lex Luthor. He gets out on a technicality that he shouldn't have those warheads. They were from the government.
My favorite is that Otis is like, "Hey, we found kryptonite," and he's like, "What's that?" It's like, "Well, it's to destroy Superman," and he's just like, "Why?" After recess, before fifth period.
Yeah, the fact that he doesn't give a shit.
Then he just moves on, and that's it. That's all you ever see about it. And he tries to buy Wayne Enterprises. That doesn't happen.
Because Bruce Wayne says, as long as I'm alive, you won't be able to buy my company.
And this is where Lex Luthor has set his plan into motion that we don't know it yet, but Lex Luthor and the Joker are tied together. Now, Superman has finished his project, which is
why he stepped away from the Justice League. And he announces in a press conference that he had been able to use Kryptonian technology to... First, he said, you need one DNA sample, and then it creates a tablet, and I give you this tablet, and it cures all disease and any future disease.
Did you know that's fucking wrong, Burgundy?
Yeah, right? I'd never noticed
that. But this is the best
and they
part.
ask, like, what's the price? What is it? He goes, it's free.
Right, but this is the best part is we've touched over the Brainiac part. When they talk to him, they're like, "Hey, you will have a moment to be able to rush through, but only one person. Don't try and bring anybody." And that's when Superman comes up with his plan, and we'll get there. But he gets everybody, and we see the guy from the pimp.
Yeah. And he's giving an old lady. He's like, "I just need to take a sample of DNA."
Lex Luthor does this awesome excuse me.
It
does
tastes
this
like root
awesome.
beer.
It does.
He does a speech in his company, being like, "Hey, it's not about money; it's about competition. That's what drives us, not money. Because we've been fighting before there was even money. That's never. It's all about power and fighting." And it talks about throughout time we've always killed and blah blah blah. And then he pretty much says pharmaceutical companies get put out of business because Superman just shows up and gives them this. So he's trying to turn the public opinion against Superman. And then we cut back to Smallville, and Clark is shucking corn with Jonathan. He's
continuing a father's tradition.
Follows tradition of shucking corn with his dad, and then we get introduced more to the Joker,
which I know, right? What a cheapskate.
Right. So Joker is created in this book because he lived in these
tenements
that were
City,
torched by the fire fraud shit. So
Wayne Enterprises.
He has an incentive to hate Bruce Wayne and Wayne Enterprises, so he kidnaps all the Wayne Enterprises children.
This part,
the board members' children.
When you hope that your child died of smoke inhalation instead of burning alive, well, let's just say it changes the way you define hope. That's the Joker.
Yeah.
So he thinks he's got a mark on him. It turns out to be Lucius at a phone booth that blows up. He can't find him for shit. And this is where it gets really fucking crazy because the Joker, they meet up, and obviously the Gotham PD's got snipers all over, and Joker's wearing a Bruce Wayne mask. He throws he does the whole speech about money, and then he throws a clown mask onto Bruce Wayne and keeps his own Bruce Wayne mask. So basically they're switched as far as the snipers know, and he just attacks him because he knows he knows they're both going to die.
So Bruce Wayne and Joker both die in that thing. So then Lex Luthor freaks out. He's like, hell yeah, Bruce Wayne is dead. So then he was able to buy Wayne Enterprises. He got out of prison. He won. I won. He freaks out and he's excited.
We first see Pariah showing up at Clark Kent to tell him today's the day. And then we go along to, that's where we see Lex Luthor.
But he's celebrating, and then fire.
The world starts ending. This is what I love about this book, is that it's a great way to show that, like, no matter how much you gain in life, at some point it ends. Yeah. We're all going to die. I know that's very dark, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. And this is a story about fighting against that with hope, knowing that the end is, but believing, even if that's the thing. When he says hope is a lie, it's that lie that I'm not, even though the chances are you are probably going to die or something, you know what I mean? That you still choose to fight.
Yeah,
and believe.
So Superman goes off and starts putting his plan into motion. and we look and we see all of these heroes. This is hopeless.
Trying
It
to
doesn't
stop
matter.
the
Keep
end,
trying.
yeah.
And everybody dies. It's heartbreaking.
So yeah, the 2-plate splash at Washington D.C. with all the heroes like destruction. This is like our previous efforts to straight. This, like all our previous efforts to save the human race, is probably doomed. But then again, we don't do what we do because we expect it to work. So even though they know it's all going to end,
As
they're
we all
fighting
stand
it.
at the edge of the abyss, it's easy to look down, forgetting that what's most important is not the abyss, but that we stood there together.
Yeah,
And they
shit
just
like
show
that.
these heroes just being with these other humans while they all die.
Jor-El sacrifices his AI to put all of the focus of the supercomputer on these miniatures because he took all of the DNA when he gave people these pills to cure them to make copies of these people and send them to an Earth that was destroyed. So he grabs it and flies off into space. And like we said, that little hole is open for one person, but it isn't a person that makes it through. Superman sacrifices himself to
only
let
mistake
this
being the assumption that I must be nothing if not a survivor. But the only mistake being the assumption that I must be one too.
Yeah.
And Brainiac assumed that he would save himself, but he threw this thing out, and they go, "Okay, just let it go." And it gets to this broken Superman with the black symbol. And he finds the crystal and the journal, and he reads it. And
also,
he
all these
restarts the
people are
Fortress
copies of
Solitude.
who they were at the time that
Yeah.
they took the sample.
So he gives them all. They also show Superman returning to be with his loved ones, the original one who gave up
Before
while
everything
they
ends.
die.
Just like at the beginning.
My favorite part at the end of the book is what kind of maniac builds a statue of himself? Is Lois saying to Superman, and he says, "That's not me."
Well, it's a couple things, but
Oh, really?
he said, remembered what Lois taught me, but the best one I could come up with is that a hero is someone who never thinks about how much they mean to the world, but realizes just how much the world means to them. And then the end
And
one,
then we cried.
this is the one that made me cry. As Dad once told me, there's a part in ourselves that's out there, loose in the world, waiting to be discovered, and he was right. And that part is what we call love. What a fucking book, man.
Dude, this book, it didn't take me long to read, probably 2 days, just when I would get a chance to read. And I
just devoured it, man.
I would find myself like, I'm going to read a couple pages, and then an hour later, I'd be through like half a issue.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I any all-read stuff I'll devour and Mark Russell is slowly becoming one of those writers, not slowly, but quickly becoming one of those writers who I will jump ship for too.
Yeah.
If we ever do Saga, Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples are two artist writers, respectively, who I would follow somewhere, who I'd love to see what else they do. There's some creators, my brother, anything he does, I'm going to watch. I'm going to check out.
I think for me, it really was a beautiful representation of this character, a beautiful story of hope, and you said life, in the beauty of it, and
the tragedy of it,
understanding
the stupidity of it,
and really it's a book,
miracle of it.
It's a book about understanding your place in the universe, and it's about understanding
shit. Sorry.
Well, and being okay with who you are, and being just because yes, there's.
So you're not the president of a country,
right? Like fame and like you said, no matter how much you gain, it's all gonna end. And you can't take it with you. And this book is about loving each other and saying it's better that because we're all fucking in this together, whether we like it or not, we're all on this same rock floating through space.
Lance Reddick, the guy who played the guy at the Continental in the John Wick
R.I.P.
movies, just died. He was one of the best
this
parts
past
of The
year,
Wire.
yeah.
One of the best parts of The Wire, by the way, which you're going to watch.
You got to get through Chew.
But what I'm saying is, like, I mean, it's one of those things where you're like, holy shit, like, nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed to anybody. And while that's a sobering moment, I had an interview yesterday where I was talking about right now in my life, I'm thinking a lot about legacy. What legacy am I leaving? Who knows? But this is Superman's legacy, I feel like, and this is the best way. If this is just a love letter from these three people to what Superman is, and kind of a love letter to that former universe, that former multiverse that existed before the Crisis on Infinite Earths, fucking hats off, man. Great.
I love it.
It was beautiful. All of it.
I loved it. I loved it a lot. And yeah, it just it made
funny,
me
touching.
It's what I love about
action-packed.
It's what I love about comic books, where it is this like this really realistic, this very realistic approach to Clark Kent and his view on the world and the things that he's saying. Where I'm like, yes, this is all true. This is all true.
I like the simplicity of
but like I said at the beginning, to not let that compromise who he is. And yeah, it's a beautiful love letter to this character. And I really got to drive this home. If you don't like Superman, you don't like Superman. I understand.
Yeah.
But to think that he is boring because he's a good person is fucking lame. Keep reading your fucking Batman books, dude. Like, go fine.
One of the
Wrapping
things.
it up.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about as far as Superman goes is, you have this character who is kind of, people say milquetoast and stuff, and all of these characters at this point in time have fallen victim to this realism syndrome in a lot of comics and movies and whatnot. Like, what's real? And I liked Man of Steel. I liked both the movie and the 1986 miniseries, which followed the Christ on Infinite Earths. But one of the things I love about this book is that at no point does he touch on, or anybody touch on, that Clark Kent looks suspiciously like Superman.
Yeah.
I love that they just allow that conceit.
And just move on.
Because, dude, what are most of our best stories? You have to suspend your disbelief at some point.
There's plot holes and everything.
There's a point where you got to leave your shit at the door, or else you're never going to enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
And Superman, honestly, if you're worried about why nobody knows he's Clark Kent too, then you're fucking missing the goddamn point of the character, and you shouldn't be reading Superman comics, right?
Well, Tyler, I think
let's get out of here
Let's
and
go.
get some heroin.
Shoot off some fireworks because we're recording on the floor.
Fireworks!
No, don't do that. Fireworks
you
suck
fucking
balls.
douchebags.
But we love you, America. Not really.
We love you, America.
No, we don't.
We love the
idea of you.
we love everybody who sacrificed their life to try and make mine better, and all those who are in the military trying to help us make our lives better. I do wish more people in this country understood what is really driving that stuff, but anybody who stands up and says, I will do this so you don't have to, is a hero in my book. So hats off to all the vets and currently serving.
Am I a hero because I watch those Chud videos that you don't have to? Oh.
I'm saying, like...
No, I'm not comparing myself to veterans.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.